I had come across a story recently that many of you may have already heard about the 19-year-old who got a face tattoo while in jail that's preventing him from getting work. And so he made a plea on social media for a job, and offers came flooding in, and yet he rejected all 40-plus job offers. But that's not really the part that I want to talk about today. The part of the story that I want to talk about is how one of the job offers came from a guy named Douglas George Herbert, who is quoted as saying in the article, "We've all made bad choices. Doesn't mean we are bad people." It kind of does. A quote-unquote bad person is pretty much defined by the choices that they have made. In this case, this person decided to commit a crime that put him in jail. While in jail, he decided to get a face tattoo, which prevented him from getting work. But as the story went viral and the job offers started coming in, he then decided to turn them all down. At what point will you recognize that a lot of the quote-unquote bad people are simply people who have a habit of making bad decisions? The thing is that we all have the knowledge of good and evil and right from wrong. And yet, people will still make the wrong decisions over and over, time and again. People know when they're doing something illegal and committing crime. Those who continue such behavior are known as criminals. No one gets into using heroin thinking it's a positive choice for their future, when all the evidence shows that anyone who does go down that path ends up with nothing and or dead eventually. Why do people keep making bad decisions? Everything begins in the mind, including your decision making. Those who make a habit out of making bad decisions over and over again typically stems from a lack of self-respect, a core belief that you are a failure, that you don't deserve success, troubled teens like this young man in this story, and hard cases of his like are going to have to tackle these things subconsciously. Now, this particular employer in this article, the one who said that just because we make bad decisions doesn't mean we're bad people, is said to be marked up with tattoos as well, so he knows where this young man is coming from. He has an understanding. But most employers would not. When they see him, they don't think evil axe murderer. What they see is someone who makes extremely bad decisions and has a lack of respect for themselves to have purposefully and permanently marked up their face like that. And then he wonders and complains about, nobody will give me a job. But I don't want to make this about tattoos. I know a lot of people have them. It's a trendy thing to do nowadays, where just a few decades ago it was only prisoners, bikers, and the like who would have them. The rebels, now it's more rebellious to not have one than to have one, actually. But it isn't about that. It isn't about tattoos. It's about decision making. Because the real difference between those who are successful and those who fail are in the decisions that they make. The successful people have a habit of making good decisions. What if you are trying to lose weight and you know you shouldn't eat that cake, but you decide to anyway? What if you know you're in a bad relationship, but yet you keep getting back with your ex? What if you know there's something that you can do that can make your life so much better, but you keep deciding to procrastinate and not take any action? And the worst of the worst is deciding not to make a decision, being indecisive. But just because we have a habit of making bad decisions or making no decisions at all, doesn't mean that we can't decide now to make good decisions to get us to where we want to be in our lives. I used to make a ton of bad decisions in my life, and I was able to quickly turn that around in a relatively short period of time, along with the banishing negative thoughts exercise and magic. It may sound cliche that you can improve your entire life by simply making good decisions. But it's absolutely true. Because we're not just talking about one time, we're talking about a series of good decisions consecutively. A habit of good decision making. You'll want to get into the habit of making decisions that will benefit you instead of working against you. Examine your decision-making process. You know, the brother of a girl I know on Facebook posted on there that he went to an Iron Maiden concert and got thrown out. It was revealed later on in the post after people asked him why. Well, he decided to throw a couple beers in the crowd. I mean, really? You're over 40. Some people have a habit of making bad decisions, like getting thrown out of places. I know people like this. I don't go places with them. And then he acts like he's the victim because he got thrown out, even though he's the one that made the decision to act like a child and throw beer on people. He absolutely deserves to be thrown out. In fact, he deserves to be banned from the venue from all future events, in my opinion. The same people that were getting thrown out of events back in the day are the same ones getting thrown out now. And that's why it's not enough to just simply make good decisions for yourself. You really got to watch who you're hanging around. Are you hanging with others who constantly make bad decisions that's going to affect you? These are things that need to be examined. You've all heard the expression, the devil's in the details. I like to say the devil's in the decisions, because that's where a lot of people go wrong, especially younger people. That's why as we age, we tend to make better decisions. Not because we're any smarter, mind you, but because we have learned from experience. But I think you get the idea of what I'm going on about. I picked this story not only because it's an extreme example of someone making a series of bad decisions that has completely wrecked their life, but also as an example how someone can turn it around very quickly. Because now it's been reported that this individual has accepted one of those job offers and is getting the face tattoo surgically removed via laser. And so finally, he's making good decisions. So even if you feel like you've gotten to a place where you've hit rock bottom, you can still turn things around by simply making better decisions. I want to thank you all for watching. This is Frater Xavier, and I will see you soon. If you enjoyed this video, here's another Mystery School lesson you may have missed. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more weekly content to help expand your knowledge. Thanks for all the love and support, and I'll see you next time. Take care.